Chucky is back. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, for the first time in more than 16 years, Jon Gruden takes the sideline here in Oakland as coach of the Raiders. But they're in for a tough test against a playoff team from a year ago, the Los Angeles Rams. I'll talk to you again at halftime with a look back to games from yesterday. But first, we head out to the East Bay. Standing by, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Los Angeles Rams. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks
What is going on, folks? It is KspadeTheProspect, back today with episode 2 of my Return of Chucky series. It's my Oakland Raiders relocation series, where we will not only get the Raiders back to dominance, but we're going to relocate this team onto Vegas like they plan to do in real life, and we're just going to dominate. Now, I have to let you guys know I'm a tad bit rusty. If you follow my channel, you know I've been playing a ton of NCAA 14, and the controls are a little bit different. It's new things you can do in Madden, and I got to figure this stuff out on the way. And I'm okay with that, because I kind of want this thing to be realistic. So you're going to come out, you're going to see me struggle some early, and then eventually you're going to see me do what I do, which is get really good at a game and hopefully rebuild this team to dominance. Now, I talked over the fact that, the Rams kind of came out and ran into some trouble. They tried to establish the run early. They gave it to Ty Gurley on first down and second down, and he was stopped in the backfield on both of those drives. We get our first look at the Oakland Raider offense, and they come out, and of course, they go to the air. The rushing attack in Madden is tough, so expect to see the Raiders pass a lot. Also, let's keep in mind, Marshawn Lynch is a little bit older, not the same beast mode that we once knew him to be. He still can get some yards going on the ground, but not that guy you can come out and rely on the run game, play after play after play. I just don't feel like he's that guy anymore. Derek Carr goes to the air again here, moving the chains. 2 of 2, starting this game off right, this time finding the tight end carrier who wants everybody to know it's the 1st and 10, and the chains continue to move. Now look, we're going to get a replay on this particular play, and I want you to see the big-time hit that they laid on this tight end right here. The Rams have revamped this defense, and that's crazy because the Rams had a great defense last year. But in the offseason, they definitely boosted the team. They brought in Dominican Sue over, who's going to make that defensive front even better. And they amped up that secondary by bringing in 2 top-tier cornerbacks. Not only did they bring in Aqib Talib, who a lot of people already felt like, they needed, I don't want to say like that nastiness, but they needed that bully. And then they also brought in Marcus Peters. So they brought in 2 all-pro level cornerbacks. So you're going to see them right here as they boosted the secondary with Johnson and Joyner back at the safety spots. 3rd and 5 for the Raiders. Carr with time in the pocket, surveys, checks it down to the running back, who had a weird little hitch right there, couldn't turn around and quite extend that arm and get the first down. It's going to be 4th and inches. And if you guys know Jon Gruden, like I feel like I know Jon Gruden, he's going to go. Tricked them here, though. I was expecting a run. They bring Marshawn Lynch out. It's an empty backfield situation, and on 4th and inches, Carr tried to get it to the newly acquired wide receiver, Jordy Nelson, and that's great defense. I just spoke about the great cornerbacks that this Rams defense is boasting, and they showed it right there. Sabat should have been a pick. Definitely should have been a pick, and Jared Goff gets a chance to get away with one. That deadly pass, he threw it right over the middle, and then we'll take a look at the Rams offense out here, starting with their offensive line. Now, once we get to the position guys here, you see Cooks, the wide receiver, the speedster that the Raiders are going to have to keep an eye on, and I think the Raiders knew that coming into this game. They definitely kept an eye and kept a safety back to make sure they didn't get, beat deep. Right here, they tried to take a shot down the field. It's going to get called back for holding. And Jamon Brown says, no, I didn't hold. They say you did. It's going to be 3rd and forever for the Rams. They're in the gun. Raiders got everybody back. Goff takes the shot over to the left side of the field. The receiver has it in his hands for a minute, but a great job to break up the pass by the Oakland Raiders defense. And the Rams actually attempt a field goal.
He has hit from as far as 61 away in his career. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. So you had to figure that sooner or later someone was going to top Matt Prater's record of 64, and officially this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up.
I don't know what to say. A 65-yard field goal? I really felt like the Oakland Raiders defense was phenomenal on that entire drive, as they've been for the entire first quarter. And it's a shame almost to see, that long of a field goal be made out here. Now listen, the Raiders defense is playing well, as are the Rams defense to start this game off, and that brings me to the conversation. Let's talk about defense. Now, we already know what the Rams did in the offseason in bolstering their defense. The Raiders did something not as dramatic, but something that the fans here seem to have rallied behind. Now, the story during the preseason was the acquisition of strong safety K-Spade Jr. Now, you guys might remember his father, who was the coach of the UNLV Rebels back when they won back-to-back national championships. The kid went undrafted, the Raiders signed him, and he actually made the 52-man roster. So although he is not on the field, he's a bit of a fan favorite here. We actually saw him signing some autographs before the game, so that is definitely something to keep an eye on. Third and long here, Carr goes down the field, tries to hook up with his receiver. You see the receiver wants a flag. The receivers always want a flag. And the refs say, nah, that's clean play. So we still have this 3-0 game here in the second quarter. It's about 5 minutes to go before the half, and the Rams look to want to come out and play this thing methodically. They check it down right here. Cooper Kupp is one of those guys who his name has come up a lot so far in this game. He's always just finding space. He's the guy who could easily be forgotten on the field with Cooks and Woods out there. The defense is worried about those two guys, and Cooper Kupp is that guy that they'll forget about, and he'll continue to make great plays like this one here. I thought that was really good coverage by the Raiders. Once again, Goff trusting his receiver, putting it in there, and Kupp with the diving one-hand getter. And what can you say? Like, again, if you're the Raiders defense, that's not bad defense. That's actually really good defense. That's a safety on a slot receiver, and he makes an amazing catch to move the chains yet again. Now look at here, Mario Edwards Jr. gets to Goff in the backfield. He's celebratory after that sack, and he should be. Mario Edwards is the guy that's going to make a lot of plays for the Raiders this year, and Jared Goff, you better get used to that. You better get used to it. Now, second and long for the Rams. They got just under 3 minutes to go. They go back to the air, this time hooking up with the tight end, Everett. He's going to make it a short third down situation right here. You got to keep an eye on Todd Gurley. On this 3rd and 3 situation, the Rams don't feel like they have to pass. However, they do. They go back to Cooper Kupp, and Cooper is killing the Raiders. They're going to have to make some type of defensive adjustment. That's only his 3rd catch, but I swear he's making these catches when it seems like the Raiders have played perfect defense and they're about to get a stop. That's when Cooper comes out the phone booth with the cape on. Now, another pass play right here is going to make it 2nd and short. We're under the 2-minute mark. The Rams are in the red zone. They are threatening to score. They throw it into the flats. It's Todd Gurley who is brought down just shy of the end zone. He's brought down around the 1, and the Raiders definitely want to try to make a play right here. You want to hold these Rams to 3 if you can, and let's see what they do. Goff turns around, hands it off to Todd Gurley, who puts his head down, drives through the Raider defense, gets in the end zone for the first touchdown of today's game, and he salutes the Oakland fans who greet him with boos. They greet him with boos. They said, get your salute out of here. Now, it is still going to be about a minute on the clock, and this is a dangerous time because if you're the Raiders, you want to take a few shots down the field. You don't want to quit. This is the first game of the season, but you got to be careful because you could turn the ball over here and possibly get a Rams a situation where they could score again. The Raiders do it exactly what I thought they would do. They come out, they go to the air, they hook up with their newly acquired wide receiver, Martavis Bryant, and they're going to pick up the first down right there. They go no huddle, so they're playing the clock here. Carr drops back the pass. He's got a receiver over the middle, and he throws the interception. I saw the receiver. I saw what he saw, but he needed to zip it in there, and he tried to put a little touch on it, and hey, man, he left it in the air a little too long. Great play by the Rams secondary. Their offense gets back on the field, and look at Chucky. Chucky's not happy. So look, after the first half draws to a close out here, both team defenses has been phenomenal. Offense leaves a little to be desired. So we got a 10-0 game here at the half. The Oakland Raiders have to come out here in this second half, and they got to put something together. We've seen some plays. Great play here, great play there. Questionable coaching decision here. Questionable play calling there. And then, you know, a little bit of shoddy pass protection. Once again, it's Aaron Donald. Now, don't get me wrong. Aaron Donald is not easy to block, but sometimes you got to call the double team. You got to slide protection. You got to identify the blitz. You got to do something. You got to try to slow Aaron Donald up, and the Raiders just haven't done not a good enough job of that. So here we go. The Rams offense on the field with a 10-0 lead. Probably going to try to run the ball a little bit, chew a little bit of clock. After losing yardage on first down, it puts them in a situation where they kind of have to go to the air on second and long. And guess who? It's Cooper Kupp again. And he's talking his talk. He's feeling good, and the Raiders got to be frustrated with themselves. I don't think Brandon Cooks has a catch. I'm not sure if Woods has a catch. You see right here, they try to go to Cooks, and he can't hold on to it. So it's definitely like bittersweet for the Raiders. Now, however, great defense. They get the Rams off the field. The offense is back on the field, and they're going to try to get the run game going. And again, we see Aaron Donald just causing havoc, man. Like, he's just walking disruption on 2 feet. It is crazy out here. 3rd and long. Carr drops back. He's got a little bit of protection, and he throws another pick, his second INT of the game. And I don't know, man. Like, Carr got to tighten up. We got to tighten up, Carr. Got to tighten up. He's looking at Bryant, who was in the slot. If he waits a split second, or maybe if he high points that ball a little bit, maybe he gets it in, but that's hindsight. At any rate, the Rams defense is winning this defensive war, and they give their offense the football back in great field position. They go to the air. Cooks say, hold on, you was just talking about me. He gets the catch over there. He's roped up and brought down before he can get any rack. But still, inside the red zone, the Rams pound away again. They hand it off to Ty Gurley, who gets outside and is stopped. Now, you get a chance to see Chucky, who we know this guy is emotional now. John Gruden is that guy who will be all on the field. He'll be fussing at refs, and the Raider defense does a good enough job. That's a bend but don't break, considering where they came back on the field at. The Rams that held a 3. 13-0 game. Less than a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. I mean, if the Raiders offense is going to show up and do anything, time is of the essence. Now, we expected this to be, it's going to be a dogfight. Let's not forget, this Rams team was a postseason, there was a playoff team last year. So we knew this team was going to come out and fight. And this is going to be a learning season for the Raiders. They got to figure some things out. Some new coaches, some new plays, and some new players. Everybody's got to get on the same accord. And this is a good test. You want to come out and see how you look against a team the caliber of the Rams. And finally, we see success through the air. Martavis Bryant had a one-on-one with Aqib Talib. And I don't know how Talib makes the touchdown saving shove in the back of Bryant to get him out of bounds. That probably should have been 7. I thought it would have been 7. But finally, that's what they was hoping Bryant would bring to this team. Now, they did lose Crabtree in the offseason, so they've got Amari Cooper on one side, and they are expecting big things from Bryant, who just really wanted out of Pittsburgh. He's out now. It's time for him to show what he can do, and he does right here, scoring his first touchdown as an Oakland Raider, and he doesn't care that his team is down. He's in the end zone going for broke. The boy is cutting the rug in that end zone. Fireworks are going off, and this game actually isn't over. It is time. It's a one-score game. Now the Rams, on the drive right here, go back to Cooper Kupp. Cooper is killing these Raiders. It is so frustrating to see Cooper Kupp having the type of day he's having. And he's talking that talk. He wants everybody to know it's the 1st and 10. They come back, hand it off to Todd Gurley, who finds a little bit of running room. The Raiders actually did a great job on Todd Gurley. Khalil Mack on the tackle, and you hate to see this. Gurley is down. He's grabbing at his wrist. I don't know if he fell awkwardly or what, but we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to try to find out what's going on with Todd Gurley, and we'll update you guys as soon as we know more. When we get back to the game, Todd Gurley's on the sideline, obviously frustrated. And if you're the Rams, you're thinking, damn, we got the lead. It's late in the game. We just want to run it, chew up some clock, and get out of here. And unfortunately, man, it could possibly cost them on Todd Gurley. We got to find out how serious that injury is. He didn't go off into the back, so he's on the sidelines. I want to believe it's not that major, but Gruden is going to try to coach his guys up. Now, obviously, the Rams had great field position. Hell, we saw him make a 65-yard field goal, so we knew they was in field goal range, and they score on that. The Raiders come back right here. You could possibly score, go for 2, try to get an onside kick. Maybe you don't even go for 2. Maybe you just score, get the extra point. It'll be a 2-point game. You try to get the onside kick, and then it's a field goal type of game. Maybe they've conceded to loss, but you still want to fight. And you know John Gruden coach team is not going to quit. They are going to play all the way to the credits roll, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Jared Cook on the catch right here. He's going to put his Raiders in great field position. They're right at the 20. Now, after taking a sack and losing some yards, They come back on 2nd and 17. Carr's got a high point it, throwing it to his new target, Jordy Nelson, and it's picked off in the corner of the end zone. I'm not going to lie to you guys. How did Jordy not get a hand on this pass? How did Jordy not get a hand on this pass? I'm okay. I mean, that is Marcus Peters. I'm okay with it being an interception. But how does Jordy not get a hand on this pass? Jordy, what are you doing? The Raiders definitely got some things to figure out right here. Unfortunately, they're going to start their season, and they're going to start the return of Chucky off with the loss. And it's a long season. Being 0-for-1 means nothing. 0-1, should I say. It means nothing. There's a lot of football left. The Raiders got some things to build on. Only 25 yards rushing on the ground. That's clearly not the way you want to do things out here. And they got to control the turnovers. That last interception, I'm going to blame that one on. I'm blaming that one on Jordy. I don't know how Jordy don't get a hand on that. But the Raiders got some things to work on. That is all I got for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me get a like. If you new, let me get a subscribe. And I am out till next time, folks. Yeah.